He would make his roll-in parallel to the friendlies so as to not shoot over them or toward them. His adrenaline was now full throttle. Despite that, he remained focused. He rolled in, establishing a 30-degree nose-low dive using the pitch ladders and flight path marker in his HUD. He set the gun cross at the top of the HUD on the target. It was the first truck. "Thunder 4-2, in from the east. Tally target, visual friendlies," he said, his still calm voice masking the fear and excitement he was feeling. "You're cleared hot," the JTAC replied, indicating Spectre was cleared to expend ordnance on the target. He steadied the bore sight cross on the truck as the gun pipper's symbology rose to meet the target. The pipper in his F-16 gave a constantly computed indication of where the bullets would go at any given time. It was commonly referred to as the death dot, because where you shot, death would follow. As he reached a pre-planned range with the pipper on the truck, he squeezed the trigger. The jet vibrated with a metallic rattle as the Vulcan cannon spat 100 rounds per second. He held the trigger for 3 seconds, then released the trigger and began a 5G recovery from the dive. For what seemed like hours, there was quiet on the radio. He reestablished his right-hand wheel and picked up the target again in the targeting pod. He could make out very little as the dust settled from where he hit. "Good hits, the JTAC exclaimed. "You're cleared immediate re-attack on the second truck. You're cleared hot." Spectre picked up the second truck visually through his night vision goggles. It was now speeding westbound toward the front of the convoy. "Confirm the truck is moving to your position," Spectre asked, trying to slow things down so as not to be too rushed or make a mistake. "That's affirm. He just... Oh, shit!" The reply was cut off. Spectre's heart sank. He saw the glowing streak of something large and hot shooting from the truck in his FLIR. He knew it immediately. It was an RPG. He watched as the second Humvee in the convoy was rocked by the explosion and the infrared targeting pod image washed out from the heat of the blast. The situation had gone from bad to worse. The radio was silent. He watched helplessly as the truck that had fired the RPG turned back away from the convoy to dig in and continue its assault. He was already risking it, but without a JTAC on the ground, he could not shoot. "Help!" A scream came over the radio. "Say again," Spectre asked, hoping it was the JTAC. "This is the MRAP commander. We are under heavy fire with several casualties. Our JTAC is down. Request emergency CAS. My initials are Hotel Sierra." Unlike working with a qualified JTAC, emergency close air support was the most difficult CAS scenario to manage. It referred to a situation in which a fighter provided support with a ground controller who was not a qualified air controller. Someone with no prior training would be guiding bombs and bullets from fighters onto nearby targets. The rules of engagement allowed it, but only at the discretion of the operator in the air, and only in the direst of situations because of the risk of friendly fire. He called the MRAP commander back. "Time to go to work." He confirmed that no personnel or vehicles had moved from the highway. The second truck was still the target. He picked up the second truck visually and rolled in just like the first time, establishing a 30-degree dive and putting the bore sight cross on the truck. "Thunder 4-2 in from the west," he said, hoping his new controller would respond. "Do it! Take them out!" the MRAP commander exclaimed. He exhaled a bit. At least he had positive contact with someone. Once in range, he put the pipper on the truck and squeezed the trigger for 2 seconds. The bullets spat from the trusty 20mm, just as they had done before, until the gun was empty. Just as he began his recovery from the attack, he heard, "Aboard, aboard, aboard!" It was the call reserved for discontinuing the attack. His heart sank.